Hey guys, it's Chris here, and I'm coming to you from my 3D printing lab. I've been thinking about this video all day. I didn't make a script for it, so I'm just going in and I want to talk about something big going on. Now, I'm making this video on the 7th, I do believe, of April. Yeah, April 7th. So, some of the things I say, I know that in a few months are not going to be true anymore. So, I don't want to talk about like numbers and stats and stuff like that. And we're going to talk about tariffs. But I want to talk to you guys about tariffs in an apolitical way. That's something that's very important to me. If you're friends with me personally on Facebook, you know I post political shit on Facebook, which is my right to do so, and that's fine. But I want, when I'm talking about business, to be as apolitical as possible because I want this information to be available to anybody and anybody to be comfortable to consume this information. And I'm gonna make a promise to you right now. I'm gonna say Donald Trump's name like one time in this video, and it's right there. We're done talking about him. Okay, I'm not gonna talk about whether I like him or not, and it doesn't matter. Okay, we don't need to talk about that, but we need to talk about what is going on in the global market of things and how it's going to affect us as Amazon sellers. One of the things that like it does bother me, like I literally was watching a guy's video one time and I was looking for something. I needed to see something about how to pack something up for FBA. And this dude, he's like, showing the video. He's like, here's how I'm doing it. And, the video's going along and all of a sudden he's like, yeah, and Hillary Clinton eats babies. And I'm like, please no. So we're not going to talk about that. But we are going to talk about tariffs and how they can negatively affect our Amazon businesses, but also how they might positively affect our businesses. So let's just begin with thing 101. What's a tariff? A tariff is a tax that a government, usually a sovereign government, places upon an item being imported into the country. I didn't even have to Google that. I knew that off the top of my head. Now, right now on the 7th, okay, and I actually haven't checked the news. So as of 8 a.m. on the 7th, okay, that's the last time I listened to the news or engaged with the news. Bunch of countries, all countries, I do believe, have tariffs with America right now. We are charging every country to import stuff. It's causing a lot of fiasco right now. And what are we going to do about it? That's the thing. Like at the end of the day, I can't not be in business. It's either I do this or I get a real job. And not to be dramatic, but I'm not getting a real job. That's just not a thing that's going to happen. So I need to look at my business and be like, okay, what do I do? And I'm seeing a lot of people like kind of wigging out right now. And I don't want people to do that. This isn't the end of the world. Okay. We take a breath. We'll be fine. Now, the first thing that I think we need to realize about Amazon sellers, about our businesses, is we are very small businesses. People always want to talk about how big their business is. They want to compare sales with other people. This is a case where being as small as possible is the best thing, because the smaller and more nimble a business is, the more able it is to react to what is going on. So, I do private label. I import stuff from China sometimes, and I import stuff from other countries. Great. I might not do that as much. And here's what I'm going to look at as to whether or not I'm going to do that is, are my competitors on the listings? Okay, so we're just going to say that I'm selling garlic presses because I'm selling garlic presses. If I'm selling garlic presses at $9.99 and now all of a sudden there's a tariff on them, so I need to adjust my price up accordingly. Well, can I compete at $12.99, or is the competition staying at $9.99 or $11.99, or they're only going up $1 where I need to go up $2? And I'm going to need to figure that out. I'm just going to have to look at that, and that'll be how it is. Now, if that doesn't work anymore, maybe I can find an American supplier for already landed garlic presses. Maybe I can replace my garlic presses with an American product, okay? At the end of the day, I don't really care what I sell. What I care about is how much money am I bringing in that I can pay my bills with, okay? I cannot pay my mortgage with, I'm selling garlic presses. I can, however, pay my mortgage with the money I make doing so. And that's something that I think a lot of people need to keep in mind. Now, let's talk about those opportunities. So right now, it looks like there's a unilateral tariff on all goods coming out of China. And a lot of what I'm going to talk about is going to be based on China. Now, that's right now, as of the 7th. But a few months ago, to give you guys an example, the tariff rate on a lot of stuff varies wildly in ways that you would not suspect. So I'm going to talk about that. So a few months ago, I was helping a client import some stuff into America, and this product that they were importing, it was cheaper, significantly cheaper, to send it to bring it into America with no batteries in it. Okay, having the batteries installed in it made it a much more expensive item. So we, looked over what our options were. We ended up, hey, in China it was cheaper to send it without the batteries. They shipped it to me, and then I installed the batteries. So I got two shipments, one of batteries, one of the item. And that was like a 10% savings in the tariff. It was a few $100s, and it wasn't a big shipment, but that's stuff that we can look at. Now I'm going to share with you guys in the comments here a link to the tariff code that you can look over, and you could start to just enter stuff into and see what the tariff is. I don't know if it's been updated yet. I probably should have checked that before I made this video, but it'll show you, like, for instance, wheat. The tariff is different on wheat, whether it's like wheat or flour. The same thing, and a lot of wheat goes into being made into flour. But here's where we can find some opportunities. So some of you guys might know this, I've lost a pretty significant amount of weight in the last year. And one of the things that I'm doing with that is I'm trying to dress nicer. And I say this as I'm wearing an old t-shirt that my mom bought me. But I've been really focusing on wearing nice pants, okay? And I'm wearing a pair of Levi's right now, but I also really like the brands Naked and Famous, Unbranded, Gustin, okay? Now, if you ever look up those brands of jeans, those are all made in Canada. And the reason that they're made in Canada is Canada has no tariff for denim, selvage denim particularly, from Japan. So in Japan, they make denim. It can be shipped to Canada with no taxation, and then the jeans can come into America. And that's a huge savings. So a bunch of these niche manufacturers of very high-end jeans, they're also kind of expensive. Like a pair of Naked and Famous jeans can be upwards of $500. I've never paid that much for a pair of jeans, but it's not uncommon to pay $100 for a really good pair of jeans. Now, that's with the best quality denim, hand sewn in Canada. And that's a niche market, but that's the kind of stuff where if you can corner something like that, you make a lot of money, okay? You make a very healthy business out of that. Let's talk about, okay, now I'm not really a supercar guy, but this is something that has always delighted me, okay? It's so 70s and 80s. If you don't know what the Subaru Brat is, Subaru used to make a pickup truck, and it was called the Brat, and it kind of looked like the Baja. And nobody really seemed to like them that much. But one of the cool things about the Brat was, so it was a pickup truck. You can look it up if you don't remember what these look like. But it had jump seats in the back. So you had a two-passenger, you had I think it had a bench seat, but okay, so it had like a bench seat in the front, in the compartment, and then rear-facing seats in the bed of the truck. Totally illegal. That would never pass regulations now. But what that did was it changed the weight certification or classification of the Baja or of the Subaru Brat into a different kind of truck that had a lower tariff on it. Okay, so when they were importing it, they said, "Oh, hey, it seats 5 people," and I don't know if that made it a heavy duty truck. I don't really know a lot about that, but I know that they did that for the tariffs. We still do this for today with cargo vans. If you look in a cargo van, so like my cargo van that I own, it's a Ford, and I think it's like an '08 Ford. If you look in, you can see there used to be windows in this van. Why? Okay. Well, the reason is the tariff is lower on passenger vans than it is on cargo vans. So when they bring those trucks into the country, I believe they're made in Canada, they would install seats and windows in them, make them a passenger van, bring them into the States, and then they make them into a cargo van. So it's like these tariffs provide us opportunities. And what's going to happen, okay? And I believe that this is going to happen. Again, I'm speculating. I'm putting on my speculation hat here. I think that what Trump wants to do And he has said this part out loud. Okay, so this is what Trump is going to do probably, is have each country renegotiate their tariffs with America. And I think that's common sense. So China's going to talk to us, Canada's going to talk to us, and there's going to be some that go down, some that go up, some that go away. Pretty standard. That makes sense. But what I also think Trump is going to do is negotiate with industries. So this is something to think about. Like right now in America, we don't have a lot of logging capacity. Most of our logs are imported from Canada. Now there's a tariff on that. So if you're a sawmill or a paper mill where you go through a lot of raw lumber, raw logs, I should say, not lumber, you're having a problem right now. Today's not a good day for you. But what'll probably happen is large industry representatives are going to lobby and work with the government, either with the Trump administration or Congress or whatever, and they're going to negotiate that rate or maybe delay that rate. So if you might say, okay, listen, we can't deal with these tariffs right now. It's going to bankrupt our business. But if you impose them in 1 year, we'll be fine. It'll take us 1 year to build the logging capacity in America. So the administration might go, okay, well, we're going to open up some land leases so you can log on. You have a year to get the equipment, the infrastructure, all that stuff set up. Makes sense. Okay, and I think that that's what they're going to try to do. And then you're going to have a lower tariff on logging for a little while, and then it'll go up. And this is all like super confusing and boring crap. But what that means is that there are going to be opportunities for small and nimble business owners like ourselves to, import denim into Canada and have jeans made, or import light trucks from Japan with seats in the bed so we can call them heavier duty trucks and get a different tariff rate. By the way, that's why we never have gotten the Toyota Hilux. Okay, it's all about tariffs. And, that's what we need to look at. So right now, as of this week, I would say don't do anything. Okay, the tariff, nothing right now is set in stone. Literally, absolutely everything in the present is going to change. That's the only thing I can guarantee you. Now, after that changes, we're going to start to see opportunities that are going to show themselves to us. I don't know what they are yet because I haven't seen that yet. But once we start to be able to recognize and see like, oh, hey, the ceramics industry, there's a very low tariff. Maybe we should look at that and stuff like that. And I'm just picking that out of my head because I have a friend that's really into ceramics. And the important part about this is that us as small businesses are going to be able to research this and navigate this with much greater ease than like Walmart. Okay. Now, of course, Walmart has the advantage that they can lobby and get tariffs probably changed. I do not have that luxury, but I can, at the end of the day, I don't care what I sell. I genuinely don't. I sell what I sell because it makes me money. That's the thing I care about. So we need to, I hope that other people look at it that way. And what I'm hoping is that when all of these chips and cards fall on the table, there's going to be opportunities that don't exist today that we will be able to see, where it's like, oh, that tariff is one way, maybe we can find another one. And as I start to see these and see things change around, I'll make more videos talking about it. But I really just wanted to make a video for FBA sellers that I wasn't screaming doom and gloom. I wasn't going to talk about politics. I wanted to just talk about it like opportunity, okay? Because I do think that there will always be opportunities. There will always be arbitrage of some sort. It's the oldest profession. So I hope that if you were, worried about this, that this was a calming video. If you're still worried about it, yeah, I am too. So don't feel bad about it. This definitely worries me, but I think that it'll be okay. Okay, and at the end of the day, there's nothing I can do to change it, and there's nothing you can do either. So we just got to accept what we have and go for it, and hopefully it works out. Anyway, guys, I hope you have a wonderful night. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.